Hello again, and welcome to my creative African cooking channel, Ndudu by Fafa. Hello, beautiful people. Thank you again for tuning in for another exciting episode. Now, of course, if you watched my informal conversation with NATASHA NYANIN, I did make this amazing Yam Tart recipe. And of course, this is the best time for me to share this. It's so easy to emulate and it should make your Christmas menu. Definitely. So you do need your yam. Of course, you need to peel your yam. And I'm using my mandolin slicer here. And do take all necessary precautions when you're dealing with anything that is sharp. And I'm just thinly slicing this because the next thing that I'm going to do is arrange this in my clay bowl. So here I do have my clay bowl that I've got some melted butter in. To that I'm adding my thinly sliced yam pieces. Next thing I'm going to add is jaggery. Now, jaggery is a traditional cane sugar that is used mostly in Asia, and it's a concentrated product of cane juice, and it's often mixed with date or palm sap without separating the molasses and crystals of the sugar. So it's like, yeah, it has this golden brown, and it's not as sweet as sugar is, and I prefer to use that. In the absence of jaggery, you can use your normal brown sugar, not a problem. The next thing is I'm going to add some more butter because I'm going to be cooking this. I'm going to be using this as the base for my tart, you see. So I'm just going to follow that process where I layer the yam pieces, as you can see here, grate some jaggery on top, and then some butter. So I repeat that process until I've used everything up. Now, in the absence of yam as well, you can use potatoes as well for this recipe. It's so easy. Now, I'm adding coconut milk to this mixture. You can use your normal milk, not a problem. So, of course, now you end up with gluten-free tart here. You know what I mean? At this point, preheat your oven to 180 degrees. And we are going to be baking this for about an hour, until we have a crusty surface and everything is well cooked through at the bottom. So whilst the yam is cooking in the oven perfectly, we are going to make some quick salted caramel sauce, which is going to pair perfectly with this tart. So I'm going to start by adding about 3 cups of sugar to a saucepan and 1 cup of water. I'm going to bring this to the boil. Now, of course, because I was in a hurry, I still had, the heat on. So when I did put the sugar in, it was hot. So, of course, when I added the water, you could just tell that it was bubbling already. And I nearly thought, oh, my God, it's just going to form into like crystals and stuff like that. But it didn't. Reason is because I maintained that heat. So do not reduce that heat. Just keep stirring it. Because, yes, as you can see, I was just like, oh, my side no, not insane. No. It just came together. But I had to make sure that I constantly stirred it until everything melted. And at this point, I was like, okay, I'm happy now. So I'd say that the best thing to do is mix your water and sugar together before you place it, of course, on your heat. And that would avoid that mishap over there. So now I'm just going to allow this to brown. And it might take a while. However, when it starts to brown, it just does so quickly. So you need to keep an eye on it. Because immediately you take your eye off, it just goes from browning to just then and it's just burned. So at this point, I have microwaved my double cream. Because immediately I add anything cold to this hot caramel, it would crystallize again, and you don't want that. So I microwaved it for about a minute. And at this point, I think I have got that perfect brown color. It's just getting to that point that if I do not add this now, it's going to burn. And that is it. And of course, when you're adding your hot, double cream to the caramel, definitely you have to take all necessary precautions because you could tell that it bubbled. And at this point, I've just turned the heat off because this is just done. I'm going to add a little salt to taste because that makes a big difference as well to this. It gives it that amazing flavor, you know what I mean? And yeah, I think that my caramel is done. So I'm just going to allow this to sit for a bit. And what I'm going to do is now go and check on my yam. Absolutely. Is it ready? Are you ready? Let's see. So this looks perfect. So you can just see the surface is just nice and crusty. And yes, it will be nice and soft as well at the bottom. That's just perfect. Look at that. So at this point, I'm going to add my caramel. I'm going to spread that on top of it. But please do not switch your oven off because we're going to be putting this back in the oven to allow the caramel to actually, melt through the yam and absorb the flavors. You know what I mean? Yes. And that's the sweetness that's just going to come through. This is so easy to make and the ingredients are readily available. So yes, most definitely, why not surprise your guest? The Yam Tart a la Ndudu by Fafa. Merry Christmas, everybody. So now that I've done this, I'm just going to place it back in the oven, as I said, just for about 4 to 5 minutes. Now this recipe was so good, I made 2 portions. So this is the second portion I've taken out of the oven. It was in the oven for 5 minutes, and you can just tell that it's nice and bubbly, as you can see. The next thing is I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of dried thyme over it because I just love that flavor. I've got that salted caramel flavor and you've got that thyme coming through. In the absence of that, you can use your dry rosemary or you kind of mix that all together. It's not by force. So right now, whilst it's bubbling, you do add your dry herb if that's what you want to use. This would allow the oils of the herb to infuse as well into your tart. So of course, it's not any other tart. This is the Ndudu by Fafa. And naturally, of course, I'm doing my own little shenanigans because I've got this wild thyme herb and it has the flowers over it. It's just incredible, and I'm just adding it to it just to make it just nice. Give it that je ne sais quoi feeling as you do. Yeah, and I think this is ready, but not of course until I just add a little bit more of my shenanigans. Now, tell me, are you going to be trying this for your Christmas menu? Yes, have you got that spare yam over there? Why not try this? And do leave your comments below with your feedback. That's the only way I can learn and grow. I'm just making this pretty, as you can tell. Now here we have a slice of this amazing recipe. And you can just tell the yam slices at the bottom that is nice and golden and soft. And then you've got the caramel topping, which is also crunchy and just moist and beautiful. Now I'm serving this with some yogurt because of course this is like sweet and you have the yogurt that has got that tangy flavor, so it cuts through perfectly. And here I'm just just sprinkle a little bit of fresh mint over it, so it just gives it that refreshing flavor as you do. Have I given you that reason to click the subscribe button if you haven't done so yet? And the notification button, which means that each time I upload a video, you are notified of it and you do not miss a thing. At this point, look at that. I was just like, let me show you guys how it is. Look at that. So in the name of experimenting with flavors, this is the first portion that is out of the oven. And this time I'm sprinkling it with some dried oregano. Yes, thinking outside the box and just, doing things differently. Why not? And yet again, that flavor works. It's, if you don't try it, how would you know? And I think in 2020, we just need to put our best foot forward Challenge yourself to be a better person each day. Because if I didn't challenge myself or challenge the status quo, I would not have created this recipe. But I have. And I'm proud of myself. A lot of effort do go into all my recipes. It's trialed and tested. And it fails several times till I get it right. And I hope that I've inspired you to try the recipe at least. And yeah, please do leave your comments below and your feedback. I do appreciate each and every one of you. Now, at this point, this is the one that I served NATASHA with. And I served it with some ice cream. It was such an incredible experience. Hosted NATASHA, most definitely. I'll leave a link in my description box below so you can actually watch the informal conversations that we had. It was just incredible. Naturally, I'd leave the list of ingredients and measurements on my blog in ndudu.fafa.blogspot.com, so do check it out. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat as Ndudu by Fafa, so do pass by and say hi. Until next time, take care of you. Be nice, be beautiful, be gorgeous. Thank you guys for your support, your love. I appreciate each and every one of you. And guess what? I love you for you. Thank you for watching.